Dear students, now let us see the next continuous topic in simple harmonic motion. So it is the oscillation of spring mass system. So in this spring mass system, we have two what you called cases. First one is horizontally loaded spring and next one is vertically loaded spring. So first let us try to understand this horizontally loaded spring. Clear ma? So for example, this is a spring which is present at its mean position, and to this spring we are attaching a mass of m. Clear? So we have attached this mass m, and this is the mean position of this spring. Now if this spring is pulled by a small displacement of x, then for that condition how can I write the case? So this is the spring and it is being elongated by a small distance of x. Clear? So this is body of mass m. So when compared to the original mean position, so spring is shifted by a distance of x. Clear? So immediately we have already studied that if a spring is displaced by a distance of x is in one direction, then restoring force which will be equal to minus k into x, it will be developed in opposite direction, where k is the spring constant of this spring. So this is the restoring force which is developed. So already we have studied why we have written minus symbol here, because if displacement is in one direction, restoring force will be in opposite direction. Clear ma? And on this mass, this is the only restoring force which is acting. There is no other restoring force. So therefore on this mass, this minus k into x becomes the net force. And we know what is meant by net force. Net force is nothing but mass into acceleration. So therefore what can I write? So minus kx is equals to mass into acceleration, which is the net force acting on this mass. Clear? So therefore same relation I can write like this also. Acceleration can be written as dv by dt, and same acceleration can also be written as d square x by dt square also. If I differentiate displacement with respect to time, that it will become velocity, change in velocity by time. So again if I do change in velocity by time, then it is called as acceleration. Clear ma? So therefore a can be written as d square x by dt square. So if I substitute in this relation, I can write minus k into x is equals to m into d square x divided by dt square. Okay? So if I rearrange this relation, I can write d square x divided by dt square is equals to minus k by m into x. So I can write up to here. Clear? Now if I send this minus k by m multiplied by x to the other side, then I can write like this also. So d square x by dt square plus k by m into x is equal to 0. So I can write relation up to here. Clear? So previously we have derived an equation which is called as basic equation of simple harmonic motion. So what was that equation which we have derived? We have derived, so d square x divided by dt square plus omega square x is equal to 0. So we have done some problems also based on this relation. So if any function, if it is satisfying this condition, then we have called that type of function to be simple harmonic motion. Clear ma? So d square x by dt square plus k by m into x, it is also just looking like this equation. But what is omega? So if I compare this omega square and k by m, definitely I can write omega square will be equal to k by m, if this equation also should be simple harmonic in nature. Clear? So therefore omega can be written as square root of k divided by m, and we know omega is nothing but 2 pi by capital T. So is equals to square root of k divided by m. So therefore if I calculate the value of t here, then it should be equal to 2 pi into square root of m divided by k. Clear? So this is the equation for time period of a body which is connected to a horizontal spring, or this is the time period of the horizontally loaded body. Clear ma? So t is equals to 2 pi root m by k. So let us see how we have calculated this one. If I just elongate this spring and release this spring, then this body will perform simple harmonic motion. So when it is displaced by a displacement of x, the restoring force developed is minus k into x. That is the only net force acting on this body. Clear ma? So therefore acceleration can be written as d square x by dt square. Double derivative of displacement is called as acceleration with respect to time. So just we have tried to convert this equation into the basic equation of simple harmonic motion, and by comparing these two equations I got the equation for time period. Clear? So this is one method of calculating the time period of a body. Okay, make a note of this one. Now previously we have done by first method. That method I can call it as force method of analyzing a horizontally loaded spring. Now we are trying to understand by one more method which is called as energy method. So what is meant by energy method here? So total energy of a simple harmonic oscillator, it is always a constant. Already we have studied about this one. So what is meant by total energy? The sum of kinetic energy plus potential energy, it is always a constant. So how can I write kinetic energy? Kinetic energy is nothing but half mv square. Potential energy is nothing but half kx square. This is equal to constant. Clear ma? So if I differentiate this relation with respect to time, then differentiation of constant should become 0. Why? Because totally it is a constant, no? So if I try to differentiate this one with respect to time, it is 0. 0 represents that this constant is not going to change with respect to time. That is called as differentiation, no? Okay. Now let us try to differentiate this one with respect to time. Then what I will get is, let us see, half m is a constant. So half m into, so 2v, differentiation of v square is a 2v, and v we have not differentiated, so I will write dv divided by dt. Clear ma? So plus half kx square. So differentiation of half k is how much? Half k is a constant, so I will take it outside. So half k into, and differentiation of x square is 2x, and I have not differentiated x still, so I will write dx divided by dt. So this is equals to differentiation of d by dt of a constant. Clear? So differentiation of constant is 0. So therefore let us see what are the terms we got. So I got, so here okay, first of all let us make a note of this one. So half into m into 2v into dx by dt can be written as acceleration, change in velocity by time, and half into k into 2x into dx by dt can be written as velocity. So totally it should be equal to 0. Clear? So I got relation up to here. Now let us see what we can do. So here half and 2, they will get cancelled. Now are there any terms? Velocity and velocity also get cancelled. So what are the remaining terms now? So m into a plus k into x is equal to 0. Clear ma? So therefore m into a is equals to minus k into x. So therefore what is a value? So minus k by m into x. So I got relation up to here. Clear? So already we have studied equation of acceleration previously. So acceleration of equation can also be written like this also. A is equals to minus omega square x also. This is also an equation for acceleration. Clear? Now if I compare these two relations, definitely I can say omega value is equals to square root of k by m. And omega is nothing but 2 pi by capital T. So this is again equal to square root of k by m. So therefore, what is the equation of time period we get? T is equals to 2 pi into square root of m by k. Clear? So this is how we can calculate the time period of a horizontally loaded spring. Again with the second method, which is called as energy method. And that first method we have used by calculating restoring force method. No, restoring force is the net force acting on the body. So therefore, by that method we have calculated, and that method I can call it as force method. And this method we can call it as energy method. Okay, make a note up to here. Dear students, now let us see this vertically loaded spring. SEMA. For example, let us consider we have taken a massless spring. So this is a spring which is massless. Clear? Now to this spring, so if it is massless, what will happen? It will not elongate. It will mean the spring is present in its natural length only. There is no elongation produced in this spring. Now to this spring, I attach a small mass. Clear? So I attach a mass of m. So if I attach a mass of m, so weight of this mass mg will be pulling the spring downwards. So there will be one elongation produced in this spring. So how much will be the elongation? Elongation produced will be this much. So if this is x naught, clear? So definitely I can say if the body is in equilibrium, then on this body two forces will be acting. One force is weight of this block which is acting downwards, and if displacement is in one direction, then restoring force should be in opposite direction, which is called K into x naught, where K is the spring constant of this spring. Clear? So mg is downwards, Kx naught is upwards. Definitely these two are balanced. So definitely I can say mg is equals to Kx naught. Clear? And this relation, it is always satisfied. Whether the spring is in rest position, whether the spring is being oscillating, whatever it may be, this is always satisfied. So mg will be equal to Kx naught. So the weight of this body is pulling this spring downwards, and the restoring force Kx naught, it is pulling this body upwards. That is the restoring force developed in this spring. Are you able to understand? So these two are always balanced. Clear? Now what I do is, I will apply some force, then I will pull this spring a bit to another what you call the distance, to some more elongation. So if this is the previous position when mass is suspended, now by applying some force F, clear, I have further expanded this spring to an elongation of x. Clear? So this is the further elongation produced. Clear? So further, if the spring is elongated by applying a force of F, then spring will develop an additional restoring force. So this is the restoring force which is balancing mg. Kx naught is the restoring force which is balancing this mg. But because of some additional elongation, there will be some additional restoring force. And how much will be that additional restoring force? Additional restoring force will be K into x, which is acting in upward direction. Are you able to understand, ma? So as we are saying that mg is always balanced to Kx naught, we need not consider this force, because mg is always present, Kx naught is always present, and both of them, they are balancing with each other. Clear? Now therefore on this block, if I pull this body up to here and remove this force, what is this force? This is the external force with which I have elongated this spring by an additional distance of x. So if I remove this force value, external force, then only Kx will be the net force acting on this mass. Clear? So there is another restoring force, Kx naught. But it is balanced by mg, so I am not considering this restoring force. So the only restoring force now present is K into x. Clear? And restoring force, we represent it by negative value now, because if displacement is in one direction, restoring force is in opposite direction. So therefore what I will do, so now the net restoring force will be equal to minus K into x. Clear? So which is equals to mass into acceleration. So minus K into x is equals to mass into acceleration, can be written as d square x divided by dt square. Okay, so therefore, so d square x divided by dt square is equals to minus k by m into x. So again d square x divided by dt square plus k by m into x is equal to 0. Now we compare this equation with the basic equation of SHM, basic equation of simple harmonic motion. So what is the basic equation of simple harmonic motion? So d square x by dt square plus omega square x is equal to 0. Clear, ma? So if I compare with both of them, definitely x we forgot here, into x is equal to 0. Definitely I can say omega square is nothing but k by m. Clear? So therefore right here, so by comparing both of them, omega square is equals to k divided by m. Clear? So omega is equals to square root of k divided by m. Omega can be written as 2 by capital T is equals to root k divided by m. So t is equals to 2 pi into square root of m by k. So this is the relation which we got. Clear? So for horizontally loaded spring also we got the same relation. T is equals to 2 pi root m by k. For vertically loaded spring also we got the same relation. It means that there is no effect of this mg is equals to kx naught. Clear? So whatever may be the initial mass attached to the spring, time period of horizontally loaded spring and vertically loaded spring always remains the same for the same mass. So T is equals to 2 pi root m by k. That is our answer. Okay. Same concept we can try to understand with the help of Newton's laws also. So let us see how we can see. So this is the initial length of the spring without any elongation, and this spring we are considering to be massless. So therefore, with its own mass, this spring is not elongating because we are considering its mass to be very less. So less that we are considering it to be massless. Clear, ma? Now we have attached a mass of m. So if I have attached a mass of m, so there is an elongation of x naught. Clear? So, and this mass is in equilibrium position after attaching to this spring. If it is in equilibrium position, it means mg, the force which is acting downwards, and the restoring force kx naught which is acting in upward direction, both of them they are balanced with each other. Clear? Now by holding this mass, I am pulling this mass downwards by applying a force of F, so that the spring is elongated by an additional distance of x. Clear? Now what are the total restoring forces which are acting, that we will study. Initially, already there was a restoring force of kx naught, so this is that kx naught. And when the body is further displaced by x displacement, then a restoring force of kx. This is the additional displacement produced kx, which is again acting in opposite direction. Now what are the downward forces? Applied force F and mg, these are the two downward forces. And again, as far as I am, as long as I am holding this mass is in equilibrium. It means as long as I apply this force of F, this body is in equilibrium. So therefore, how can I write a Newton's law equation for them? So kx naught and kx, they are acting in upward direction, no? So restoring forces we are representing by negative symbol. So what I can write, so minus kx naught plus kx. And what about this force and mg, they are acting in the opposite downwards direction. So their sign I will write to be positive. So this is minus kx naught minus kx plus mg plus f. Totally it should be equal to 0, because the net force acting on this mass is 0. Clear, ma? Now after pulling up to here, now if I remove this force, then what will happen? If I remove this force, the force which is acting in downward direction, then these two forces will become greater than this force. It means there is some restoring force which is acting in upward direction. Clear? And how much will be that restoring force? How can I calculate? Let us see. So this is after removing the external force. After removing the external force. How can I calculate this one? So restoring force will be, so these two forces are in upward direction, no? Their direction I will consider to be negative. So minus kx naught minus kx, and this mg is in downward direction, so plus mg. So this becomes the restoring force which is acting. Clear? This is in which condition? After removing the external force which is responsible for elongating this spring by a displacement of x. Clear? Okay. Now here already we have written that mg is equal to kx naught. Clear? So instead of this mg, I can write minus kx naught also. So therefore restoring force will be minus kx naught minus kx. Instead of mg, I will write kx naught. So this kx naught minus kx naught get cancelled. So therefore restoring force is equals to minus k into x. So this becomes the net restoring force in this condition. This was the same result which we have studied previously, no? In the first type of explanation, what we said, so mg and kx naught, they are always balanced. So we have neglected that term there. But here, by using Newton's laws, we are solving this one. And again, these two forces get cancelled. And I will get again restoring force is equal to minus kx. Clear, ma? So therefore, restoring force is equals to minus kx. And this is the only force now which is acting on this mass m. It means this force becomes the net force. And what is net force? Net force is equals to mass into acceleration. Clear? So therefore minus kx can be written as mass into acceleration can be written as d square x by dt square. Clear, ma? So therefore d square x divided by dt square is equals to minus k by m into x. Clear? So I got relation up to here. So again comparing this one with the basic equation of SHM. What is the basic equation of SHM? D square by x by d square x by dt square plus omega square x is equal to 0. So therefore, if I compare with this one, then I will get omega is equals to root k divided by m. So omega is nothing but 2 pi divided by capital T. So again, T is equals to 2 pi root m by k. Clear? So again, I got the same answer. But here we have tried to understood this situation by using Newton's laws of motion. Clear, ma? That's all. So here the question is, this body will oscillate about which mean position? So this was the mean position before the mass was attached, this position. And this is the new mean position after attaching this mass. Clear, ma? Now when you move this mass up to a displacement of x, and if you release this mass here, this body will oscillate about which mean position? Will it oscillate about this mean position or this mean position? Which one can you say? Which one? Clear? So definitely body will oscillate along this mean position. What is the reason? Because this condition should be always satisfied, no? So mg is equals to kx naught. So this additional force mg, this is balanced by kx naught. So because this condition should be always satisfied, this becomes our mean position and body will oscillate about this mean position. Clear? So therefore, for the case of horizontally loaded spring or vertically loaded spring, our equation of time period remains same. T is equals to 2 pi root m by k. And time period is depending on what factors? It is depending on the mass being suspended and also upon the spring constant, SSM constant, oscillation constant or vibration constant of the spring. Okay? See these conditions. So this is an inclined plane which is present at an angle of theta. So this is the spring whose spring constant is k and it is attached to a mass of m. Clear? So here there is a spring, the thread which is passing through a pulley, and again mass of m is attached. And this is also a spring which is attached here, and the string is passing through a pulley, other end of the string is connected to the mass. Now what about the time periods of these systems? Clear, ma? So generally for horizontally loaded spring and vertically loaded spring, what was the equation of time period we have written? We have written T is equals to 2 pi root m by k. Clear? Now what about these conditions? For these conditions, how can I change this relation? Clear? Answer is, we need not change this relation because mass is not changing, k value is also not changing. So not only for horizontally loaded and vertically loaded springs, for any type of combination where only one mass is oscillating with the help of a spring, definitely I can use this relation of time period, T is equals to T pi root m by k. Because the oscillations produced in the spring are only because of the restoring force produced in the spring. Clear? Come on, make a note of this one. Students, now let us see the combination of springs. So first one we are studying about series combination of springs. Clear? So for example, if this is one spring, this is another spring. So spring constant of this one is K1, spring constant of this one is K2. Clear? So to these springs, to the bottom, to this second spring, if I am connecting a mass of M. So let this one be first spring and second spring. So to the second spring, if I attached a mass of M, then what will happen? Then the springs will elongate. So first spring as well as second spring, both of them will elongate. Clear? Now the question is, why both of them will elongate? So we are attaching this mass to this bottom mass, no? Then why this spring also should elongate? That is our question. Because, for example, if I want to elongate this spring, clear, ma? Then without holding on the other side or without being attaching this spring to a rigid support, I cannot apply force on the first spring. Clear, ma? If I want to elongate a spring, there should be equal and opposite force on the both sides. Clear? So definitely, if I attach this mass to this lower spring, first of all, this spring will elongate. Clear, ma? And restoring force will be given on the first spring also. So therefore, definitely both the springs will elongate. And what about the restoring force? If in the first spring, this is the second spring, no? In the second spring, if restoring force produced is Fr, so here also restoring force produced will be Fr only. So in both the springs, definitely same amount of restoring force will be developed. That is what we have understood now. If I want to elongate any spring, definitely I should apply equal forces on both sides. Clear? So restoring force produced in both these springs will be equal. So this is the important point of springs in series combination. So therefore, what is the note point here? I can write in series combination, restoring force produced will be same in every spring. In every spring. What is meant by every spring? For example, if two springs are present, in both the two springs, restoring force will be equal. Similarly, if 10 springs are present, in all the 10 springs also, restoring force produced will be equal. Clear, ma? Okay. But they are having different k values, no? This one is having a k value of k1 and this is having a k value of k2. Clear? So what is meant by restoring force? Restoring force is equals to k into x, magnitude wise. Clear? So therefore, if their k values are equal, then x values also should be equal. Clear, ma? For example, if k values are equal, if elongation produced in this spring is 2 centimeters, then elongation produced in the first spring also will be 2 centimeters. But if k values are different, then elongation produced also will be different. Clear? So therefore, if elongation produced in this spring is x1 and elongation produced in this spring is x2, then what is the total elongation? Total elongation will be this much, which is equals to x1 plus x2. Clear, ma? Now if I write here, so total elongation, I can write x total is equals to x1 plus x2. Clear, ma? And what is meant by k total? K total can be written as Fr divided by k equivalent. Clear? What is meant by x total? X total is the total elongation produced in the spring. If I consider this total spring as one spring, then total elongation will become x total. Clear? And throughout the spring restoring force is Fr only. Clear? Now what about k equivalent? K equivalent is the k value of total combination. So Fr divided by k equivalent, how I can write? I can write this one as F1 divided by k1 or Fr divided by k1 plus Fr divided by k2. So this is the elongation first spring, this is the elongation second spring. In every spring restoring force is Fr only. So we have written Fr throughout this equation. Clear? So therefore Fr and Fr gets cancelled. So I can write 1 by k equivalent is equals to 1 by k1 plus 1 by k2. Clear? So this is the result I got. Similarly, if there are 10 springs, if there are 2, 3 springs, 4 springs, then how can I write the same relation? Same relation can be written as like this. K equivalent is equals to 1 by k1 plus 1 by k2 plus 1 by k3 and it goes on. Are you able to understand, ma? Now, by looking at this relation, what do you understand? So, do you understand whether k value has increased or decreased? So, k1 and k2 are the k values are individual springs. K equivalent is the k value of total combination. Clear? Now, by looking at this equation, total k equivalent, has it increased or decreased in series combination? Clear? So, definitely by looking at this equation, definitely I can say that k equivalent has decreased. Clear? Because we are writing all the equations in reciprocals. So, definitely what is the note point here we have to write? Note point is in series combination, total k value or I can write it as k equivalent decreases when compared to individual springs. Clear? So therefore now the question is it easier to elongate one spring or is it easier to elongate two springs which are connected in series? Clear? Come on, think about this one. Okay? So the question is it easier to elongate one spring or is it easier to elongate two springs which are connected in series? Okay? So definitely elongating two springs is easier. Why? Because k value has decreased, no? And what is meant by k value? We will write here. So k is nothing but Fr divided by x. What is meant by Fr divided by x? So to produce an elongation of x, how much restoring force is developed in the spring? If restoring force developed is greater, it means applied force is also greater. That is the meaning of this one, no? So if k value is lesser, it means restoring force developed is lesser. It means applied force is also lesser to elongate that spring. So if k value reduces, it is easy to elongate that particular spring. So for a series combination, k value is reducing. So therefore, to elongate one spring, it is tougher. To elongate two springs in series, it is a bit easier. To elongate three springs in series, it is much easier. to elongate 4 springs in series, it is very, very, very easier. That is the meaning of this one. Are you able to understand, ma? So total K value in series combination decreases, and that is the equation. 1 by K equivalent is equals to 1 by K1 plus 1 by K2, 1 by K3, and it goes on for any number of springs. Students, now let us see about parallel combination of springs. Clear? So consider these are 2 springs which are having same length, but their K values are different. It is having spring constants of K1 and K2. Now we are attaching both these springs to a mass, clear, whose mass is m. Clear? Now if I have attached both of them, then one thing which I can observe is the elongation produced in both the springs will be equal. So therefore, in parallel combination, one point which you should always remember is the elongation produced in both the springs will be equal. So let us make a note here. So in parallel combination, elongation produced is same in all the springs. In all the springs. What is meant by all the springs? Any number of springs may be present, no? 2 springs, 3 springs, whatever it may be. So in every spring, the elongation produced is same. Clear? Now the question is, what about restoring force? So is restoring force also equal or not? So let us see. So restoring force is written by K into X, no? So K into X. So X values are definitely same. So elongation in this one is also X. Similarly, elongation in the second spring is also X. But K values are different, no? If K values are same, definitely you can say restoring force produced is also same. But we have taken different K values, so therefore restoring force produced in this one, if it is FR1, then restoring force produced in the second spring is FR2. Clear? Now what these restoring forces are doing? These restoring forces, they are balancing the weight of this body. Clear? Weight mg is acting downwards, no? So this mg is being balanced by both of these restoring forces, because this mass is being supported by both these springs, no? So therefore total restoring force produced in this combination is Fr1 plus Fr2. So therefore what can I write? So equivalent restoring force is equals to Fr1 plus Fr2. I can write like this. Clear? Now equivalent restoring force, how I can write? I can write it as K equivalent into X, because in a total combination the elongation produced is X. And what is K equivalent? For this total combination I am calculating the K value, which is called K equivalent. So K equivalent into X is equals to Fr1 plus Fr2. What is Fr1? Fr1 is K1 into X, Fr2 is K2 into X, because X values are same in all the springs. So therefore X and X gets cancelled. So I can write K equivalent is equals to K1 plus K2. So this is the total equivalent spring constant of this combination when springs are connected in parallel. Clear, ma? So if more than 2 springs, 3 springs, 4 springs are connected in parallel, then how can I write? K equivalent is equals to K1 plus K2 plus K3, and it goes on continuously. Clear, ma? Now by looking at this equation, what do you say? Is total K equivalent of this combination, has it increased or decreased? So this is the addition of K values, no? So it means definitely total K equivalent has increased in this condition. So therefore what can I write? Total K value or K equivalent has increased. Clear, ma? So total K equivalent has increased definitely. So increased means what? So is it easier to elongate one spring or compress one spring, or is it easier to elongate this combination of springs in parallel? So definitely elongating a parallel combination of springs is tougher. Why? Because K value has increased. No? If there is K value is greater, then restoring force developed will also be greater for same amount of displacement. If restoring force developed is greater, it means that applied force also should be greater. So definitely, what can I write here? I can write, it is easier to elongate or compress one spring rather than a combination of springs in which connection, in parallel connection or parallel combination. Clear? So these are the two important points which we have to remember about series combination and parallel combination. Clear ma? So what is the point which we have to remember in series combination? In series combination we have to remember that the restoring force produced in every spring is equal. That is what we have discussed, But in parallel combination, what we are supposed to remember, in parallel combination, the elongation produced in both of them will be equal. Are you able to understand? So, elongation produced are equal. Restoring forces may be equal, may not be equal. It again depends on K values. Clear? That's all. Some examples in series and parallel combination of these springs. So first of all, this is the given question, two springs whose K values are K1 and K2 and mass of M is attached. So what is the total time period of this combination? So they are connected in series. So therefore I can write 1 by K equivalent is equals to 1 by K1 plus 1 by K2. Clear? So if I take LCM, then I can write K equivalent is equals to K1 K2 divided by K1 plus K2. So I can write like this. So therefore, so what is the total time period for this combination? So time period is equals to 2 pi root M by K equivalent. So 2 pi root M by K equivalent is how much? So K1 K2 and this K1 K2 goes to the numerator. So M into K1 plus K2 divided by K1 K2. So this will be our answer for first one. Now what about this one? Clear ma? So this is a mass which is connected to springs or two springs. One spring is above this mass, one spring is below this mass. Now first of all, is it a series combination or parallel combination? So how to identify this one? Okay, this is very important. So in combination of springs, to identify which one is a series combination and which one is parallel combination, this is very important. Now can you say, how can I identify whether this combination is series or parallel? Very simple. So you hold this mass, you displace this one by a small factor, by small distance of 1 centimeter. So hold this mass, pull it downwards. Then what will happen? This spring elongates downwards, no? So this spring elongates downwards and this spring compresses downwards. Clear? So if it elongates in this direction, then it develops restoring force in opposite direction. Similarly, if it compresses in downwards direction, then again it develops restoring force in opposite direction. Clear ma? So both these masses, they are attached to this mass, no? So definitely both of them will provide restoring force on this mass. So this is a property of parallel combination. That's what we have studied in parallel combination, no? In parallel combination, both the springs will provide restoring force. And what is the one more property? One more property is that, so the elongation or compression produced in both these springs should be equal. Clear ma? So if this spring compresses by 1 centimeter, then this spring elongates also by exactly 1 centimeter only. Clear ma? So elongations or compressions are equal, and one more property is both of them are providing restoring force. Clear? But in the case of series combination, so on this body who is providing restoring force? Only this spring is providing the restoring force. Then what is this first spring is doing? It is supporting the restoring force which is provided by this spring. Clear ma? So in this condition, so both the springs are providing the restoring force. So this is definitely a parallel combination of springs. So for parallel combination, what is the total K equivalent? K equivalent is equals to K1 plus K2. So therefore is equals to 2 plus 3 is equals to 5 Newton meter. So therefore T is equals to 2 pi root M by K. So 2 pi root, mass is how much? Mass is 2, K value is 5. So this is our answer for time period in this condition. Clear ma? Now what about this question? So here, so 1, 2, 3, 4 springs are connected to this mass of M. Clear? So definitely I can say these two springs are in series. Similarly, these two springs are in series. And this total combination and this total combination, they are again in parallel. Clear? So same what you called connection I can draw like this also. How I can draw? I can draw like this. So this is total one spring. Clear? Similarly, this is total another second spring, and both of them they are supporting this mass of m. Okay, so I can write like this. So these two are connected in series, no? So total K equivalent of this one will be how much? So K1 K2 divided by K1 plus K2. Similarly, these two springs are connected in series, no? So what is the total combination of this combination? K3 K4 divided by K3 plus K4, because 1 by K equivalent is equals to 1 by K1 plus 1 by K2. Clear, ma? Now this spring and this spring again they are in parallel connection. So if they are in parallel connection, then how can I draw a diagram? So let us see. Here we will try to draw. Clear, ma? If both of them are in parallel connection, then I can draw like this. Clear? So this is one spring, this is another spring, and both of them they are connected to this mass of m. So this one is having a spring constant of K3 K4 divided by K3 plus K4, and this one is having a spring constant of K1 K2 divided by K1 plus K2. Clear, ma? Now what is the total K equivalent addition of these? Because these two they are connected in parallel. So K equivalent is equals to K3 K4 by K3 plus K4 plus K1 K2 divided by K1 plus K2. Clear, ma? So therefore how can I calculate time period? T is equals to 2 pi root of m divided by K equivalent. In the place of K equivalent, substitute this relation. So that is our answer. Clear, ma? So this is how we have to identify whether the springs when they are they connected in series or parallel. Clear? Similarly, let us see one more question. Which question can we see? Let us see this one. Clear, ma? For example, this is one spring. This is a arrangement like this. Clear? So here there is one spring which is connected like this. Clear, ma? Similarly, here there is one more spring which is connected like this. So this is having a spring constant of K1, and this is having a spring constant of K2, and this is mass m. Now for this total combination, you try to calculate T value. What is the time period? If I move this mass by a small distance of x and release, then what will be the time period of oscillation? Clear? So here also we have to identify whether this whether this connection, if it is series connection or parallel connection. So how can you identify? Others again same logic, just displace this one by a small distance of x. If I displace this one by a small distance of x, then what is the elongation produced in the first spring? The same will be the second compression produced in the second spring. And both of them, they give restoring force in the same direction, and both of them are providing restoring force on this mass. So definitely this combination is a parallel combination. So when they are connected in parallel, then what is the total K equivalent? It is equals to K1 plus K2. That's all. So therefore, again the relation is T is equals to 2 pi root m divided by K1 plus K2. So this is the time period. So this is how we have to identify whether the springs they are connected in series or parallel combination. Okay. So dear students, now let us see this question. So pan attached to a spring balance has a mass of 1 kg. So a weight of 2 kg when placed on the pan stretches the spring by 10 centimeter. Then what is the frequency with which this empty pan can oscillate? That is the question. Clear? So what is the spring balance? This I can consider as a simple spring balance. So a spring will be present, and here readings will be present. And this consists of a pan. And what is the mass of this pan? It is given as 1 kg. Clear? So because of this mass of the pan, there will be already some elongation produced in this spring. Clear? Now what he is saying, we are placing a weight of 2 kg into this pan. So this is a mass of 2 kg. Then what he is saying, it is saying that the spring stretches by 10 centimeter. Clear, ma? So this stretching in spring is only to balance this additional weight, because mass of the pan would have been already balanced by initial elongation. Now this elongation will be only to balance this weight. Weight is a kind of force. Clear, ma? So therefore the force which is now applied is equal to how much? Weight of the body, which is called mg. So mass is 2 kg, G value is 9.8. So we can take it as 19.6 Newton. Clear? So if this is the weight which we are placing in this pan, then what will be the restoring force? Restoring force also will be 19.6 Newton. Clear? So therefore we have a relation between restoring force and elongation produced. So what is that one? Magnitude of restoring force is equals to K into X. So 19.6 is equal to K value I don't know. And what is the elongation produced? 10 centimeters. So 10 into 10 power minus 2 meter. So therefore K value will be 196 Newton per meter. So this is the K value. Clear? Now what is the frequency with which this empty pan will oscillate? That is, if I remove this 2 kg mass, I pull this pan a bit downwards and release this one, then with what frequency it will oscillate. Clear ma? So we know that time period is equals to 2 pi root m by k. Already we have discussed this one previously. So frequency is what? Frequency is 1 by time period. So this is equals to 1 by 2 root k by m. Clear? This is the relation. So K value we have, and mass is mass of the pan we have to take here, because this what you call spring balance is oscillating only because of mass of the pan. Clear ma? So therefore what can I write? So it is 1 by 2 pi root K value is 196 divided by mass is 1. So 1 by 2 pi root 196 is 14. So therefore 7 divided by pi hertz or oscillations per second. So this is our answer for this first question. Let us see this question. An impulsive force gives an initial velocity of minus 1 meters per second to a mass in the unstretched spring position. So what is the amplitude of motion? So that is our first question. And write an equation for x as a function of time. Mass is given as 3 kg and spring constant is given as 1200 Newton per meter. Clear ma? So what is meant by impulsive force? A force acting for a very small instant, it is called as impulsive force. So here a small impulse is acting for a very small time, f into t. Clear? So instantaneously the mass gains a velocity of minus 1 meters per second. Clear? Minus 1 meters per second indicates that velocity is in this direction. Clear? So, and it is in unstretched position. Unstretched position means what? It means body is present at the mean position. If it starts oscillating, it will oscillate from that position. Clear ma? And velocity given minus 1 meters per second, it is at the mean position. It means that is the maximum velocity that body can have. And already we have calculated equation for maximum velocity, which is called as A into omega. Clear? So maximum velocity is 1. A value I don't know, omega value I also don't know. So let it be our equation number 1. But still there, K value and mass are given, no? So we know that K is equals to m omega square. Clear? So then from this I can calculate omega, no? So therefore K by m root is equals to omega. So therefore if I substitute these values, omega is equals to square root of K is 1200 and mass is how much? Mass is 3. So therefore omega is equals to root 400 is 20 radians per second. Clear? So this is the angular frequency which I got. Now substitute in equation number 1. If I substitute in equation number 1, so 1 is equals to A into omega. So therefore A is equals to 1 by omega. So 1 by 20 meters, that is the amplitude of oscillation. Clear ma? So the same method I can use by law of conservation of energy also, no? So I can also use energy concept also. So what is meant by energy concept? At the mean position, simple harmonic motion will have highest velocity at the mean position. It means there the total energy possessed by the body in simple harmonic motion is only because of kinetic energy. Clear? Because there is no elongation at the mean position, there is no potential energy. So, and at the extreme position, this total kinetic energy would have been converted into potential energy. So therefore, what can I write? At the mean position, total energy is only kinetic, and at the extreme position, total energy is only potential. So therefore, half mv square is equals to half k a square. Why a square? Generally potential energy equation is half kx square, no? But at the extreme position, x value converts into a, that is maximum amplitude. Sorry, amplitude is called maximum displacement. Okay. So half and half gets cancelled. Mass is how much? 3. Velocity is 1 square. K value is 1200. Amplitude I don't know. So A square. So therefore, A square is equals to how much it is? It is 3 by 1200 is 1 by 400. So therefore, A value is 1 by 20 meters. That is the same result which I got previously also. Clear? So this is second method of doing the problem. Then he is asking one more question, no? Write an equation for x as a function of time. It means he is asking to find out displacement equation. So how can I find out displacement equation? Let us see. So displacement equation is very simple. X is equals to minus a sine omega t. Clear ma? Why I have written minus a sine omega t? Because body is traveling towards negative extremity, no? So already it should have covered an angle of 180 degrees. So now we are writing this value in minus. So therefore x is equals to, amplitude is how much? 1 by 20 sine. Omega value is how much? Omega value did we calculate? Omega value is 20. So 20t. So this is our equation for displacement with respect to time. Okay.